What's barking, disturbed seals? Welcome back to Monkey Boys Toys, and welcome back to the item of seating furniture that is the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again. Here's a squeaking walrus to look at. Now, can I first apologise for the continual shifting in white balance and focus on the video. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's doing it, and it's making me very cross. But we'll plod ahead anyway. Now, this week, I thought I'd just like to show you guys a handful of Star Wars figures that I've picked up recently. One of them is from Star Wars, released in 1977. Three of them are from Return of the Jedi, and they were released in 1983. And the final one is from the Rogue One film that was released in I can't remember when. So without further ado, let's remove the squeaky walrus from the frame and we'll get on to the figures. Okay, so the first figure I'd like to show you is Nikto. There goes the white balance again. Don't know why it's doing that. So here's Nikto. Nikto was seen, of course, in Return of the Jedi in 1983, and that's the same year that this figure was produced. This figure's in pretty good condition. A little bit of paint wear to the horns on the top of his headwear there, or perhaps they're horns that are coming through from his head. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's a little bit of paint wear there, but other than that, he's in pretty good condition. He's upsetting the light balance on my camera, but never mind. So yeah, here's Nikto. He looks like a bit of an old ball bag, doesn't he? But there we go. He's pretty cool. I was glad to pick him up. I do want to try and get as many of Jabba's goons as I can. Of course, Nikto was seen both in Jabba's palace and on the skiff guard on the skiff where he was sort of guarding Jabba's prisoners. So yeah, there we go. There's Nikto. Let's just pop him to the back, and we'll bring in the next figure that I'd like to show you guys, which is this one. It's Ree-Yees, everybody's favourite three-eyed cow. Again, this is one of Jabba's goons, and he was seen in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. Now, I always liked this figure as a kid, but I was nevertheless quite disturbed by his hands. I don't quite know why, but there's something about these sort of short, stumpy, square-ended fingers that made me always feel a little bit weird. I don't know why. I just find his hands are probably the most disturbing hand sculpts in all of the Star Wars Kenner line. They are really quite peculiar. But I liked his head, and I do like his expression. He looks quite cool. He seems to have some matter on his ear. Let me just remove that. What's that? I don't know what that was. But anyway, there we go. That's gone. And here is Ree-Yees. So he's in pretty good condition. He's got a bit of paint wear here and there, but on the whole, he's in pretty good nick. So yeah, there's Ree-Yees. Like him a lot. There we go. Cool. Next up, we have an Emperor's Royal Guard. I quite liked this figure when I was a kid. I enjoyed the soft goods on the figure, and I thought he looked very cool in the film. Of course, we first saw these characters in 1983's Return of the Jedi. I wish my white balance would sort itself out. It keeps going brighter and darker. I really don't know why it's doing that. Apologies for that. I hope it doesn't impair your enjoyment of the video. It's certainly impairing my enjoyment of making it. Stop doing it! Literally, stop doing it! There we go, look. It's absolutely fine. I'm not going to move anything. Let's see if it changes again. But yeah, the Emperor's Royal Guard. I don't have any accessories for any of these figures. It's just the figures. And there we go again with the white balance. Brilliant. So this film is now all going to be about the white balance. Thank you, world. Thank you, the universe. Fantastic. Just keep going in and out. I don't care. Brilliant. Brilliant. I don't know why it's doing it. There are no clouds outside. It's absolutely fine. It just can't make up its mind how bright it wants to be. I do apologise for that, guys. I've recently got a new phone, and I'm having some teething troubles with it, obviously. It might be something that I have to put up with in the videos from now on, which is rather frustrating. There it goes again and again. Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, I'm not going to delete the video and do it again. We'll just have to go with it. So yeah, I thought these Emperor's Royal Guards were pretty sleek looking. They were pretty cool. I don't know how good they were at fighting, because we didn't really see that in Return of the Jedi. They kind of just stood there looking menacing, and then sort of walked off to go and make a sandwich or whatever it is they do when they're not working. But yes, I don't have any of the accessories for these figures, so I don't have the Royal Guard's long pointy stick. never mind, I might be able to pick up one of those at some point in the future, or perhaps a repro. But there we go. So let's pop him to the back, and I'll leave a little gap. And let's bring in the figure from 1977, which is the Luke Farm Boy figure. Now, when I was very young, the first 2 Star Wars figures that I received from my parents one Christmas were this figure, the Luke Tatooine figure, or Luke Farm Boy as he is known, and Darth Vader. And at the time I received the 2 figures, I hadn't seen Star Wars, so I had no reference for who they were. I just used to play with them as action figures, and it was obvious that there was a good guy and a bad guy, so I would play with those. And it wasn't until 2 or 3 years later that I actually saw the Star Wars movie, and then had some context for who they were. But I very much enjoyed this figure when I was a kid. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will notice that his lightsaber does not have the thin end still attached to it. But I have to say, I'm really not that bothered about it. I always thought that looked a bit peculiar. I realised that a fully complete Luke figure would have the thinner end on his lightsaber, but I always found that during play it always looked a bit odd. It was very flimsy, easily broken, and I think I actually broke mine off deliberately when I was a child because I just didn't like the way it looked. It just seemed a bit flimsy and silly. So I was very, very happy with this figure. I wasn't fussed that it didn't have that piece on the end. But yeah, not a bad figure overall. There is some paint wear to his head, but aside from that, he's in a lovely white condition, and I was really pleased to pick up this figure for the collection. I've been waiting a long time to get a Luke Farm Boy into the collection, and this one will fit the bill nicely. So very happy to have him. Let's just pop him to the back. There we go. You can stand him between Ryu's and the Royal Guard there. And so that's it for the vintage Kenner figures that I picked up recently. But I did also pick up this guy. Now this is Edrio 2 Tubes from the Rogue One film. Now this figure was available in the Jedi Revolt 4-pack. I'll pop a picture up of the 4-pack on the screen so you can see where this guy came from. And as far as I'm aware, this is the only place that this figure was available. There were 2 characters nicknamed 2 Tubes because Edrio here has a brother called Benthic, and they were both sort of mercenary pilots. Now Benthic comes with some different apparatus on his back. Edrio doesn't have anything on his back, as you can see here. Benthic comes with some sort of tube apparatus thing on his back, not sure what it is, and Benthic also wears a long sort of duster coat, an overcoat, and looks pretty cool. So I'd like to see a Benthic figure released as well, because I think they're fantastic character design. I think they look really cool, and I've been waiting for a character or a figure to come out ever since I saw Rogue One. I'm hoping that Hasbro will release a figure in the Black Series or the Vintage Collection, because I'd love to get figures of both of these characters. But yeah, so there we go. This one is in a 3 3/4 scale, but stands slightly shorter than the standard Kenner figures, and his scale is ever so slightly shorter. So his hands and his limbs and stuff are a little bit smaller. But nevertheless, I was very happy to be able to pick up this figure. I didn't want to buy the Jedi Revolt 4-pack because I wasn't really interested in 2 of the figures. It was only this one and the Saw Gerrera figure that had any interest for me. But anyway, I've managed to pick this guy up loose. So yeah, there's Benthic. Sorry, excuse me. There's Edrio. Maybe if I stand him. Oh, Ryu's has fallen over. Cow tipping. I've done some cow tipping. Let's stand him back up. So anyway, guys, there we go. I hope you enjoyed that little look at these figures. He's not going to stand up, so we'll leave him lying down. But yeah, there we go. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with any other disturbed seals you may know. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and please leave me a comment and let me know what you think of these figures. But I guess until the next video, I'm going to make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here. See you next time.